Hey everybody, it's Mr. Hasquin, and I'm back with more things you should know by being alive. This is kind of another mini lesson into a topic that I cover in my classroom, and I just want to let's have a study of the Declaration of Independence. Talk about the Declaration itself, and how it's effectively a Dear John letter or a breakup letter, which is odd for the kids because they do everything by text or snap. So this would be pretty long for a text, but anyway. The Declaration of Independence wasn't just a letter to King George. It was a bold revolutionary manifesto. It was adopted, of course, on July 4th of 1776. It marked the moment when the 13 British colonies in North America declared they were no longer subjects of the British Crown. Instead, they were a new independent nation. Now, the document really didn't come out of nowhere. So in other videos, I've talked about that, years of taxation without representation, military occupation, political repression, you had the Stamp Act, the Boston Massacre, the Intolerable Acts, all these things bring the colonies closer and closer to a breaking point. The Declaration of Independence was the response. The principal author, of course, is Thomas Jefferson, 33-year-old Virginian selected by a committee that included John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Roger Sherman, and Robert Livingston. Jefferson was chosen not just for his writing skills, but because he was from Virginia. Virginia was a key colony. And he had strong revolutionary credentials. Chances are, if John Adams had written it, nobody would have wanted to read it because, so many people just really despised the guy. He was a great writer, and just having his name as the lead probably would have been a problem. The final draft of the Declaration was reviewed and edited by the Continental Congress over a few tense days in Philadelphia. Now, as far as the structure of the Declaration goes, it's basically into four different parts. There's the first part, the preamble, which is kind of that philosophical opening, when in the course of human events. Then you have the Declaration of Natural Rights, which lays out the Enlightenment ideals of liberty and government. Then you get to the list of grievances, the 27 reasons why. Over these reasons basically say, what, King George, no thank you. These are the reasons why we've come to this point. And then finally, the last part, the Resolution of Independence, which was the official break from Britain. Now, it was kind of like the resolution that was made by Richard Henry Lee in the Continental Congress to get this committee created in the first place, resolved that these colonies ought to be free and independent states. Now, each section builds towards the idea that independence isn't just a political move. Instead, it's a moral necessity. Now, the Declaration is pure Enlightenment thinking. And if you've seen my John Locke video or my social contract video, you know this. The Declaration is especially inspired by Locke. Jefferson said, the Declaration is pure Locke. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. These lines summarize the natural rights philosophy, that humans have basic rights simply by existing, and that governments are created to protect those rights. Now, if the government fails to protect those rights, here's where the social contract creeps up. Jefferson answers this clearly. He says, it's the right of the people to alter or abolish it and to institute new government. That's not just protest, that's revolution. The bulk of the Declaration is a list of grievances against King George III. They're effectively concrete examples of tyranny. The dissolving of colonial legislatures, the keeping of standing armies in a time of peace, obstructing justice, taxing without consent, cutting off trade, ignoring petitions. This just wasn't venting, it was evidence. And Jefferson is building a legal and moral case to the world. We tried, we asked, we waited, and now we must act. The final paragraph makes it clear. These united colonies are and of right ought to be free and independent states. It declares war, it declares nationhood, and it risks everything. 56 men signed it, rich men, farmers, lawyers, ministers, knowing it could cost them their lives. John Hancock signed big as the president of the convention, well, the Congress, the Continental Congress. He wanted King George to see it without his spectacles. But the Declaration didn't just give birth to a nation, it launched a global idea. The government must serve the people and not the other way around. It's been quoted in revolutions from Haiti to Vietnam and inspired abolitionists, suffragists, and civil rights leaders. It wasn't perfect. All men didn't include everyone in 1776, but it gave future generations the blueprint to demand more. If you believe words that can change the world, start with the Declaration of Independence. It's more than a document, it's a promise that we're still trying to keep. You can like and comment and share and follow for more things you should know by being alive, because understanding how freedom was declared helps us understand how it must be preserved, even today. Thanks so much for watching.